In the pre-interview, the one thing that's interesting is if you tell somebody, just talk about this like you're meeting with, like, I'm your client. Talk to me like I'm asking questions.
Yeah.
I don't even get into the viewership anymore in the pre-interview because I
scares
know
people. You tell people 100,000.
You tell people 25,000. Like, what are you talking about?
There are people that public speaking is actually, you should bring that up. I think public speaking is one of the number one.
Oh, when I used to when I was
fear.
19 and I started coaching, then I realized I had to go in front of the parents. I'm like,
right.
What the hell?
Yeah.
What? I didn't sign up for that.
Yeah.
I signed up to be on the bench, not. And then now it'd be whatever. It'd be like, yeah, these are my goals. I want everybody to have fun, not take penalties.
It's the most common phobia.
Right. Yeah.
But
it affects about 72 to 75% of the population.
Yeah.
But if you don't do we're doing shows every week.
Yeah.
The biggest thing with the crowd.
And I still get tripped up. I still I'm not this isn't. It happened last week. I was talking and I lost my place.
Oh, man.
And so then I got rattled and I started. I didn't even know what I was talking about. And
That's hilarious.
I've done like 300, 400 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, like I said, it happens to anybody. Yeah. And it's funny because we were just talking about it with Zarina.
Zarina, how's it going over there?
Yeah, that it's something that we usually also try to prep, even on our end as producers, as the producer, is, ignore the cameras. They're not here. Mm-hmm. This is you and the host, and, as simple as that. We're just here to capture it, capture a natural conversation.
Remote is
but
tricky.
It's tough. It's tough. I mean, yeah.
It is tough because you could even say, hey, like it's just going to be a simple conversation. And even the one that we were doing when we were at CIM, one of the guests was nervous at the beginning, even when we tried to calm him down. And it's you kind of just have to wait it out until, and because at the end he was very comfortable. So it's just kind of a bit of a waiting game as well.
Yeah. I sometimes take a different approach with the cameras aren't here. Like, it's sort of the same thing as like, don't be nervous. And then of course you're thinking, I kind of go, it's actually a bit of a psychology thing is, whose method is it? But essentially it's like, I'll say sometimes things like, we can't pretend the cameras are, there's a big light shining on. You can't pretend it.
We could before with the phones.
We could before when we had the phones. Yeah. But now I say something more like, so they are here, but after a few minutes, we're going to get comfortable.
Yeah.
And it sort of helps them know also that it does depend on the guest. It depends how you.
I definitely think it depends on the guest. Because this is the approach I've used since we started this, is that I find when you do say ignore the camera is because it's natural when you have a camera there.
To talk to the camera.
And that's what I try to avoid.
That is true.
I don't want them to do that. This is just us capturing a conversation about their services or product.
Right. It makes them realize that they're not performing through the camera.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so you get a more natural conversation. Mm-hmm. Once they're trying, the camera, right? The camera. You don't want that.
Fine. Forget my method. It was a terrible suggestion.
Do you know what?